Alrighty guys, so here we are, max effort lower body day. So we started off with chained deadlift. The chains are 12 to 15 pounds on each side, we figured out. So for a total of 24 to 30 pounds extra. That first single was 345 pounds bar weight. This was a triple at 285 bar weight. This here is a triple at 295 pounds bar weight. And then here is our top triple, 305 bar weight, plus the chains for a triple. Then we moved on to our secondary movement, and we did paused box squats for a 4x3. Managed to get 315 on these for all 4 sets. This was hell though. These pauses really sucked. And then we moved on to our accessories, hit our leg press for 4 sets of 8, 2 sets hamstring dominance, and 2 sets quad dominance. As always, going pretty heavy on these, but really trying to just control it at the same time. Then we moved on to our hip adductors and abductors. Did these for 2 sets of 20 each. So nothing too crazy. Just getting some blood back into those hips, but still working them at the same time. Going heavy enough to where we're failing at about 20, maybe 22, but also going light enough to where we're not breaking down our form on these. All in all, though, a great day, and I couldn't be happier with how the results came out.
All right, guys, here's our recovery lower body day. Kept it pretty light with 50% on the bar. That's including the hanging weight. This was for a 6x3, really easy. Really just focusing on trying to push the hips out and back. Really trying to track those knees outward, spreading those hips. These felt really good, really easy, and my hips feel great after doing these. I absolutely love this movement. This is probably one of my favorite squat movements, to be honest. Then we moved on to our bracing deadlifts. I've seen a lot of progress in my brace at the bottom of the deadlift from these. These were 6x3 with 225, which is somewhere 60%-ish area. Not too bad. They don't feel heavy, just really trying to focus on the brace. Then we moved on to our accessories. We started with leg press, 1 set quad dominance, 1 set hamstring dominance, really just trying to get some blood flow into the knees and the upper legs here. 2 sets of 20 altogether. Nothing too crazy. Super light, just like I said, trying to force as much blood in as possible. Emphasize that recovery. These videos are a little mixed in, back and forth, but here are the adductors and abductors as well. We did those for 2 sets of 20 each way. Nothing too crazy again, really light, just really trying to force some blood into the hips and glutes. Then here is the other set of the leg press. I'm pretty sure this was the hamstring dominance here. I try to do both to get a decent balance in. I don't do leg extension or leg curls just because I don't feel like they translate very well to my pushing movements, such as my deadlift and my squat. I try to do these as much as possible because I feel like the hamstring dominance really mimics my squat because of how far I push my hips back, and I feel like the quad dominance really focuses on my deadlift because I go my conventional deadlift with Then here is the final exercise, the sets of 20 on the abductors and adductors. Again, nothing crazy, really just trying to force blood into the muscles, recover those hips, external and internal rotators, abduction.
All right, guys, so we hit max effort upper body today. We started out with our Larson press max. This was 205 for our final warm-up. Moved pretty well. Made a 10-pound jump up to this 215. This moved pretty smooth as well. No real sticking point. Just slowed down so I didn't go up anymore. Then we moved on to a 4x3 with Larson. This was 170 for our 4x3. This moved fairly well. I probably could have put more weight on the bar, but it was my first time doing Larson in a pretty long time, so I kept it pretty light. We moved on to our California press. Now, I've been doing these on the safeties. You can do them without the safeties. I just find it allows me to go a little heavier than I would be able to if I didn't have the safeties, really allowing me to overload those triceps. On the Skull Crusher eccentric, which I am falling in love with this movement, honestly. I think it's honestly probably my favorite tricep movement. Then we moved on to our accessories. We have high pulls here. Did these for 5 sets of 8. Or 4 sets of 8. You can do it for either or you can go higher reps with these. Then we moved on to our rows. Also 5 sets of 8. Pretty high volume today on our accessories. Felt pretty good coming into today. And then our final accessory was a 4x10 with the straight arm lat pull downs. Really trying to force those hands past the hips, really getting a good contraction on the lat. Alrighty, guys, so here is our recovery upper body day. So we started out with these earthquake bar benches, hit 160 for a 6x2, moved really well, felt really good. Huge upper back test here. Trying to keep your scap as stable as possible. Trying not to allow the bar to pull you out of position. I absolutely love this movement. It's probably my favorite bench variation, to be honest. And the sets shown are 1, 4, and 6. Then we moved on to our accessories. We hit 3 3x20s. So this first 3x20 is going to be on the T-bar, or T-raise, not T-bar raise. And so this is with 5-pound plates, and 3 sets of 20 at this is crazy. Really trying to hold those scaps back and just feel this in your rear delts as much as possible. You're going to feel it all throughout that whole rotator cuff. These accessories are really just to bulletproof that rotator cuff. Then we moved on to these Y raises. Same principle, pull the scaps down and back, and we're just going to raise at about a 45-degree angle. Again, I used a 5-pound plate here, 3 sets of 20. Massive amounts of blood into the back here, really growing and bulletproofing that rotator cuff. And our final variation was the I raise, so you're going to come straight out in front of your head with the plates. Again, same thing with your shoulder blades, down and back, really trying to keep those secure. Not only will it prevent injury, but it also stabilizes the shoulder joint and also puts some more blood into it, really stressing those stabilizer muscles in the rotator cuff. Alrighty, guys, so today we had power bench. We started out with our 6 singles on the bench press. We went 205, 205, 210, 215, 220, and then we backed it back down to 205. Now, the reason I did this was 220 didn't really move the way I wanted it to. And I thought it might have been just fatigue, but on those last 205, I decided I wanted to switch my feet placement up. Instead of going on my toes, I went flat-footed again, and I just felt like I had way more leg drive. Honestly, my 6th single at 205 moved quicker than the first single I did that was also at 205, so I think I'm going to be going back to my flat foot placement. I'll probably be getting my heeled shoes with a 3/4 inch effective heel height, and be going to those instead to give myself a little bit more of an arch, but also be able to still keep my feet flat and keep a good amount of leg drive in the movement. Now,
After these sets of bench, we moved on to a 5x6 close grip. And here's that this is the first set of that 5x6. So I went 135, and as you'll see here, it absolutely got blown up. And then I went 155 for the next 2 sets, which you will see one of those sets here in a second. Here's 155, and then you will see next is 165, which is what I did for the 4th and 5th sets of 6. And here's that 165. And then to finish off today, after all the bench volume, I really wanted to get some rotator cuff / back work in. So I decided to do 3 sets of 20 of T raises, I raises, and Y raises. I have a video for my recovery day doing these. I didn't get the greatest of angles. The camera fell over when I was doing them. So here are the T raises. But like I said, you can only see part of me. The camera managed to fall over, so we only got a partial view, and the Y and I raises, since they're more out in front of me, I didn't get much of a camera angle on them at all, but those were also 3 sets of 20. Go to my recovery bench video from this week and you will see those.